Hello, hello, hello. I am Marcials Blends, and I have a fragrance and a hair page on Instagram and YouTube. It would go by Marcials Blends Hair, Marcials Blends Fragrance, either or. I love talking to people, so I'm gonna imagine this is you here in my living room, and we are conversing. Trying this out, my friend Elaine gave me the suggestion of uh, doing a podcast simply because I love talking practical advice and listening to people. I listen to people of all walks of life, different ages. And one thing that I like to mention, one advice that I give is the Marshall's Blends rule of 5%. And what is that rule of 5%? Is rule 5% to avoid heartbreak and maybe come out of a heartbreak also to a certain degree. So you never give more than 5% of your heart to anyone within the first 5 years of a relationship. And now this also applies to changes in your life. So let's say you become an adult now. You're paying your own bills, you're managing everything on your own. Then the 5% rule also applies again to family members. I'm going to explain why. Let's just go into romantic and platonic relationships with people who are not your family. So, giving 5% of your heart or permitting a person to earn 5% of your heart, that's the proper verbiage. Permitting the person to earn 5% of your heart within 5 years means that as a friend or a romantic interest or an employer, you know, whatever the situation, whatever the human relationship is, you do not give 100% of your heart. This is something that a lot of us humans do. We will give 100% of our heart and we will just be there for the person and just everything. And we just do so much for them. And when they turn out to not appreciate it or to not have been genuine, not have been honest, not have been true, our hearts are broken. And if it was a romantic relationship, we become dirt. If it was a friendship, we don't trust anybody. If it was a job, we now feel valueless or we feel that we were not valued. And so what happens is if you give 100% of your heart, you do not have clarity. You no longer have clarity in anything that is going on with that situation, that relationship. So if you're in a romantic relationship and you've given 100% of your heart within the first 2, 3, 4 weeks, 2, 3, 4 months, you've lost clarity. You need clarity to be able to say, oh, you know what? This person is not for me. It's not working out. Or I am not for this person and it's not going to work out. And you can get it. No heartbreak. You need clarity so that if that person decides to tell you all of a sudden, after having had this splendid night, amazing conversation, just great interaction, and then all of a sudden they say, you know what, this isn't working for me. And then you're heartbroken. You become a shell of a human being. No, if they haven't earned even 1 or 2% of your heart, they say, this isn't working. I have to go. And you're like, okay, I wish you well. Take care. And you move on. So what does 5% not giving 100% of your heart to a person mean? It means that you're gonna like them a lot. You're gonna enjoy their companionship, and you're gonna make sure that your companionship is enjoyable. You're going to make sure that your quality of work is amazing, that you are on time early, that your projects are done. Cut that my friend gave me. You are stronger than you know. You make sure that your work is impeccable. Your teamwork is solid. That is not giving your heart. That is giving effort. That is producing a proper kind of reputation. You want your reputation to be good. You want to make sure that that 5% is working so that if something occurs that you no longer need to be there, you can say goodbye. You recognize that you're not being valued, you're not being appreciated, you're not being compensated accordingly. Then you say, okay, this is the situation, this is what I'm expecting, this is not happening, therefore I need to go. Your heart will not break. But inversely or conversely, if they all of a sudden call you into the office and give you a memo and say, so and so, this is your last day, pack your things up, you will say, okay, no problem. You will not be like, oh my goodness, I gave you guys all of me. I sacrificed myself. I used to not take off days when I was sick and blah. No, that you don't get 5%, you're not going to sacrifice yourself. You're not going to come in when you're sick. You're going to take your time that you need, but you're going to make sure that you're doing all the work. And it's the same thing in the relationships. In the relationships, the person is like, oh my goodness, I need some money. I don't have money. I need this. I need that. You're going to be like, oh, okay. You're not going to be trying to save this person because they have not earned all of that. So, what does that save you from? That saves you from sacrificing so much so that when a disappointment occurs or when the situation is ruptured, your heart will not break. It'll save you from that. And, or if you need to dead a situation, you'll be okay because you know it'll be the best for you. So, that 5% rule really, really, really does work. Saves many people and it actually contributes to building better relationships. Why? Because that 5% rule removes something that causes a lot of tension in new relationships. It's that expectation. It removes that because you know you're there to see what you're going to see and show what you're going to show. And you don't have that whole tension of, oh, my goodness, I'm giving you everything. They're not giving me everything. No, you're giving less than 5%, expecting less than 5% as far as the heart. Again, I repeat, the heart and love, two different things. The heart is giving all of you. So if you don't give all of you, so how do you not give all of you? You make sure that the other 95% has to deal with building yourself, making sure you're okay, your health, your hygiene, your mental health, you know, your connections with other people. You know, other people get 5%, less than 5%. You're able to build those connections with other people. You're able to build, instead of just focusing on one source of income, you're giving them 5% or less, and you can give other 5% to other sources of income, maybe a side business, you know? And so that what that does is it doesn't give any one particular thing high importance. And if those things don't have high importance, then you're able to keep them in their places. You're able to keep them in their places. So that is my rule of 5%. Now, how does it apply to family? It applies to family in this way. So when you become an adult, you're no longer a child. So that means, yes, your parents have been able to incorporate or instill certain things in you that are valuable and are essential and wonderful and appreciated. But there, you also had your own experiences and your own decision making skills built, which of course incorporated what they taught you. There are going to be times where your way of solving a situation does not conform to what your mom or your dad told you. They're not going to like it, but you have to follow through with what you know you have to do. 5% rule. Because if they have 100% of the heart, then guess what happens? Then you're not going to do what you know you need to do, and that creates a frustration and it creates resentment. And that's not healthy. So, 5%. Once you've reached adulthood, you're taking care of yourself, 5%. And they can continue to now earn it. Why do I say that? Because now you're both adults. You're all of you are adults. You're all in the same plane. So they too now have to earn that percentage. Siblings. Siblings will try and get you. If they have 100% of your heart, then guess what they're gonna do? borrow money from you, expect you to pay bills, get themselves into trouble because they know you're going to take care of it. And that's a no no. Once you reach a certain age, a certain level of adulthood, now even they get 5% and they have to work on earning the rest. And if they don't earn it, then guess what? They don't earn it. And then I talk about a menu. Within that menu, there's a menu of what you are willing to do and what you are not willing to do. Okay? Are you willing to give loans? If that's not on your menu and they call you and they ask for something, no, it's not on the menu. Don't ask me for a loan. But yes, but last week you gave me a loan, blah, 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 blah. It's very interesting. Be grateful for that loan. That was the last one ever. It's not on the menu. Why do I say this? How many times have they Zelled you, Cash Apped you, Venmoed you money out of the blue? Out of the blue. And then compare that with how many times they've asked you to give them money. If it's not balancing out, 5%. Once you become an adult, they have to get that 5%, and that's it. And they have to earn the rest of it. That doesn't mean that you become a cold sibling. You are still warm and loving and caring and affectionate, and you're there emotionally for them when you can be. But now you will have clarity, and having that clarity means that you're able to recognize, you know what, this person's in that situation because they made their bed and now they have to lie in it. So why do you want to drag me into that bed bug filled bed just so you can now climb in my hard worked Tempur-Pedic Egyptian cotton satin pillowcase bed and have me be there? No. Think about that. That's where the clarity comes in. So that 5% rule allows you to have clarity. It removes the emotion that the heartstrings tug. If you only have 5 out of 10 heartstrings being pulled, that serves as an alarm. But if you have 50, 60, 70 heartstrings being pulled, that is no longer an alarm. It is a catastrophe. A catastrophe. 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 So that is the other reason why the 5% rule is so important. The clarity, I again, 100 strings, 5 strings. 5 strings, alarm, more catastrophe. So that's it. That's it. This is my first podcast. I'm a very simple guy. But yeah, so I have an Instagram, 2 Instagram pages, and 2 YouTube pages. They're both Marcials Blends, and then one is hair and one is fragrance. So that's Marcials Blends, hair or fragrance. You can follow either of them. All right. So if you do follow them, just let me know. Hey, I saw your podcast, and let me know what you thought. If you thought it was a waste of your time, you say that. If you thought it was something that was contributory to your well-being, you also let me know that. Okay. So thank you so much. Thank you very much. It was fun conversing with you. Ciao for now.